What's up, peeps? Nick Battle, aka NinosCorner, man. Today we're going to talk about Breonna Taylor. You guys know about 3 months ago she was gunned down in her own apartment in Louisville, Kentucky, where the cops actually performed a no-knock warrant, which has since been taken off the books. Now you cannot do no-knock warrants anymore in that state, if I'm not actually mistaken. However, she was gunned down in her own house. It was her and her boyfriend in the home. The cops did a no-knock warrant on her house, believing that it was a criminal that they wanted to get. However, they didn't realize that they already had the criminal in custody, and there was no need to even go perform any no-knock warrants or go search for the criminal because said criminal was in custody. So what happens is they bombard no-knock warrant into Miss Taylor's home. Her boyfriend is in the house with her. They're laying down to sleep, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know all the details, but the boyfriend thinks somebody's breaking in the house. He is a lawful carrying gun owner, Second Amendment, owner. Once he hears somebody run towards their room or what have you, he lets out a shot because he's thinking somebody's breaking into their house. Well, once he lets out one shot, 28 shots come at them, and those 28 shots, a vast majority of them, or just some, hit Miss Taylor and ended up killing her in her own home. We guys know what she did for a living. She was a worker. She was a nurse. Well, she was trying to become a nurse. She was an EMT professional. She's helping people out there with COVID. That was her main thing. I think working at 2 different hospitals. Her parents really worried about her catching coronavirus and getting sick that way, but they did not think that their daughter was going to die from the hands of the police in her own home, doing what she's supposed to be doing in her home, sleeping. All right, guys. Now I bring up Miss Taylor because we have to talk about what happened in Louisville last night, guys. So what happened was we had a bunch of people, around 100 people, sit out on the Attorney General's yard, who basically is not charging these cops or trying to bring any justice for Miss Taylor here and the wrongdoings that had happened to her. But 100 people came out and sat on this Attorney General's yard, and 2 were very famous people. Kenny Stills. He's a wide receiver. He's bounced around the NFL, played for Houston. If I'm not mistaken, he still plays for Houston, but he played for the Dolphins. He went to Oklahoma. Another person is YBN Corday, who is one of the most gifted rappers right now. So those 2 are out there. All 100 people get arrested who were protesting, and they are charged with a felony. Now let's get this right. So peaceful protesting, felony, murdering somebody or murdering somebody in their own house through a no-knock warrant, and nothing happens. So it's not a problem. It's not a purpose of not having the ability to go out and charge people, because evidently they have charged these 100 people with a felony for a peaceful protest. Now, I must say, if I were doing this protest, let me caveat this with this. I think I would have done it a little bit different. I don't think I would be in his yard, in the Attorney General's yard. I would have probably sat in the public area, which would be the street that is not owned by the person. It's not owned by the house that resides in front of them. So that's why I would probably be on the sidewalk or on the street, the area that is not owned by the Attorney General. However, they peacefully protest. They could have easily just gotten arrested with a misdemeanor and went to prison, went to the county, spent one night in the county and got out. All right, they could have easily done that. Easily done that. However, the Attorney General, after letting them sit out there for 3 or 4 hours, tries to find the perfect and exact law to charge them with a felony. So anytime something happens to a cop, if a cop does anything to anybody, what happens, guys? Investigations. We're always investigating. We got to make this right. We got to get this right because we got to investigate. They got a hard job. And I know cops have hard jobs. I'm in the military. I know about serving. We do have hard jobs. However, it's always an investigation, and it's always drawn out, and nothing ever happens this quick. People are protesting in front of the Attorney General's house. They get a felony. A felony, guys. Come on, man. Come on, man. This right here is showing you. It is showing you that it is not about not having the resources or not being able to charge somebody like is what has been portrayed to us when it comes to these cops who, basically murdered Miss Taylor in her own home. It is essentially about doing what you want to do. And so Louisville, Kentucky is basically showing their hindsight to everybody and that they are going to do what they want to do regardless. And they're not going to bring these cops to justice, which I think is ludicrous. And I'm not saying this is a tricky situation. Who do you blame, guys? They're doing what they're trained to do. Somebody has to pay the price for this. Somebody does. Is it the person who sent them out to go do this no-knock warrant, even though they had the criminal in possession? Is it the person who ordered that? That actual raid? Is it the, I don't know, somebody has to get fired and somebody has to go to jail, because what happened that night, an innocent woman's life was taken for absolutely no reason. I mean, she was minding her business, guys. I mean, you think about, I ride through my neighborhood every day and I see all the signs that are outside that basically say, thank you to all the nurses. Thank you for the first responders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She was doing that. Breonna Taylor was not just a first responder and an EMT for like one hospital. It was 2 hospitals. She was out there making a difference, a real American hero. And I say that, I don't say that with a grain of salt. All the nurses, all the doctors, all the teachers that are out there still teaching these kids virtually through summer schools and are going to have to start doing this in the fall also. Those are our heroes right now, because they are doing something that they never thought that they would have to actually prepare for. So those are our heroes. She was a hero. She was out there every day doing what she had to do to make sure that this virus doesn't spread. And if we had more competent people like her out there working in those fields, maybe it could save, who knows, a couple hundred more lives. So hey, somebody has to pay for this, guys. We have got to figure out how the Louisville Police Department and the Attorney General can arrest 100 people and give them felony charges for peacefully protesting, but not have any way of charging these cops who have basically murdered Miss Taylor in her own home. So on that note, guys, let's go to a small commercial break and we're going to come back to you another. All right, guys, and we're back. So like we were saying on the previous end, Miss Breonna Taylor, American hero, one of the many American heroes who sacrificed their well-being to assure that the sick, the elderly, the people who were infected with coronavirus are taken care of. Justice has to be done for Miss Breonna Taylor. We've got to make this happen, guys. How do we do this, man? Call the police department in Louisville. Seriously, do it. Call the Attorney General's office. Do it. Make those phone calls, man. Assure that something gets done and gets done quickly. Email them. Don't let up, guys, because if you do let up, Breonna Taylor, she will be forgotten. We do not need her to be forgotten. This is, a time in history where we're going to look back and we're going to say, hey, when all this was going down, what did you do? Did you just stand back and just look? Were you silent? Did you speak up about it? Did you inform people about it? Did you try your best to, ensure that justice was served for, for these people? What did you do? What did you do? So make it a point to do something, because what if that's your child? What if that's your mother? What if that's your cousin, your brother, your sister? What if that is a close family member that you just happen to love? What if it's your best friend? You're going to want something to be done swiftly and quickly, because I guarantee you, if that was that Attorney General's kid or his mother, his sister, brother, his wife, something would have been done the day after it happened. If those cops would have made the wrong move on his family, some people would not have jobs today. Some people might be in jail today, and it is what it is. So we have to be the voice for those who can't speak anymore. Breonna Taylor can't speak anymore. I'm pretty sure her family is tired of speaking now about it because they have to live through it. But we must carry on this message. We must understand and know that there are many ways to skin a cat, right? That's what we say in the South. There are multiple ways to skin a cat, but we have to assure that her name is not forgotten. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. Say her name. Let people know what happened to her. Some people still don't know the whole story because everything that happened, when all this happened, guys, George Floyd happened, Ahmaud Arbery happened. So we had a lot of things that were going on. And Breonna Taylor, since we didn't really have this on tape and things of that nature, I'm not going to say it got brushed under the wind. Yeah, I'm under the wind. I'm not saying that it got brushed under the rug. But what I'm saying is that we had so much going on that it didn't get, I don't believe it got the full attention that it should have gotten. So in saying that, guys, please, please, please don't forget her name. Say her name, Breonna Taylor. Justice for Breonna Taylor. And it is straight pathetic how 100 people can go to jail for a felony for peaceful protesting. Now, I did say, guys, I might have done my peaceful protest a little different. I don't think I would have sat in the Attorney General's yard. I think I would have sat on the sidewalk or on the curb of the land that he does not own. And I probably would have done that just so he can not even say I trespassed him or, on his property or anything like that. But it doesn't matter what I would have done. I might have done things a little bit different, but it doesn't matter. These people were not causing any harm. They were peacefully protesting. I mean, like, my God, you had two people who are millionaires sitting out there peacefully protesting. Do you think a millionaire is going to straight? Anyways, I didn't want to talk about that. But what I'm getting at is, guys, that you had two people who are out there who are successful, more successful than said Attorney General whose house that they were at. I don't even want to say his name because it's just disrespectful, man. It's just despicable on the actions that have occurred over these past couple of days, and I'm just not happy. As a man here in society, especially as a black man in society, I'm just not happy with what's going on here. So, yes, when you protest, there's a chance that you might get arrested, and understandably so. A peaceful protest, if they got arrested, okay, they get arrested. But a felony? Really a felony? Really a felony? We're going to talk about a felony for somebody or 100 people who were peacefully protesting. This is stupid. All right. So on that note, guys, man, be safe out there, guys. Use proper judgment, everything. Everybody who listens to this podcast, you guys are smart people, man. And I know a lot of you and a lot of my listeners I don't know, but I thank you guys for tuning in. But yeah, just keep Breonna Taylor's name alive. Keep her name in your mouth, guys. Keep saying it, keep shouting it. Do not let her name be forgotten. She was a hero before she passed. She was an EMT worker, 2 hospitals, guys, doing what she had to do to assure that the spread of coronavirus would not be as great as it is. And like I said before, if we had more EMT people who were like her per se, that this 3 million number might not be 3 million, guys. It might be 2.99. I mean, if she saves one extra person, then her life is worth it. And I guarantee you, she was going to be one of those ones that would have saved one extra person. So, guys, man, keep singing her name. Keep shouting out Breonna Taylor. Don't let her name be forgotten. And the Louisville Police Department, you have to do something about those cops, because if you don't, you're going to keep having more protests and more things like this are going to happen. And your job is going to get so much harder. And what I don't think people realize is when people protest, the cops, these officers, they had to take out of their time, out of their day to tend to these when per se they get out of hand and things like that, which they don't get out of hand too often. So it takes time away from them. So if you want to keep doing your job, please, 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 I cannot stress enough, do something with these cops, guys. Do something, hold them accountable. All right. So on that note, guys, I'm out of here, man. It's getting late. Do you? Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance. NinosCorner, I'm out. Welcome.